Thank you. I think I will have a seat. You wanted to speak with me, Doc? Mm-hmm. 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 No, I'm listening. Please go on. Mm-hmm. 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 Huh. Well, I have to admit that's a rather interesting conclusion. Um, I gotta say, so far you've come the closest. You have. Yeah. Um, isn't it time though for you to usually give your wife a call, check to see how she's doing? Mm-hmm. Well, obviously I know that. I mean, after all, I'm the one who created you and your wife. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Dr. Abner, I gave you plenty of time. I mean, I did. I gave you like about 3 months. I was really hoping you would figure it out, but you're just like all the others I created. You try the usual things first, and I don't know, it just never occurs to you that, oh hey, maybe I'm a figment of someone else's imagination. Well, I'm sorry, but you are. So is your wife. Hmm? No, no, I don't like kids, so I didn't give you any. Yeah. Oh, you've been trying for years to have children. Well, um, yeah, that's that's not really true. That's an implanted memory. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, it didn't occur to you that things at this particular insane asylum are a little bit off. I mean, they didn't occur to you at all. Seriously? I mean, I just don't understand why you think that everything is perfectly fine. I mean, how many sessions have we had together? Hmm? How many have we had, Doctor? Yes, and in every single one, yeah, you talk to me, and after a little while, after I've listened to your latest theory, what do? I pull out my large pocket knife and I start playing with it. And then I check my watch to see what time it is. And honestly, I do these things, and they don't seem to concern you. Well, that's because you're not real. You're just a figment of my imagination. And quite frankly, I created you because I was hoping you could help me. I mean, just just imagine waking up one day and realizing, wait a minute, the world really doesn't exist. It goes away when I go to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, everything from the previous day gets recreated in my subconscious mind and comes to life. I mean, seriously, I'm supposed to be a patient in this insane asylum, and yet I'm sitting here playing with a large pocket knife. You don't seem to be bothered by it. You've never been bothered by it. I mean, what explanation have you got for that? Mm-hmm. 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 Well, I'll be honest with you, Doc. I'm surprised. That sounds logical. It does. But the truth is, there is not a single asylum director or warden, as I like to call them, who would allow a patient to have something like this and just play with it during a doctor's psychological session. And the wristwatch as well. Patients don't get wristwatches. They don't. They could easily break the glass and they'd have a sharp object with which to end their lives or attack hospital staff. I shouldn't have these two items. And quite frankly, I'm kind of bored with this item, so yeah, I think I'm gonna change it. There. I think this looks a lot better. Don't you, Doc? Yeah. 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 This looks a lot better. Look at how beautiful that handle is. Mm-hmm. And that Damascus blade. Yeah. You gotta admit, this does look a lot better. Well, thank you. But again, I mean, I just literally, before your eyes, transformed a utilitarian knife into something that looks like a work of art, and you seem completely unfazed. Why is that? I'm curious. Oh, so you think I simply put the other knife away in my pocket without folding it and just pulled out this one already open and ready to go? I mean, seriously, Doc? Does that make sense to you? So you've got a patient in an insane asylum who is allowed to walk around with two knives and a watch. I mean, that doesn't seem odd to you? I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. No, please go on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, honestly, I think I did too good of a job creating you. You are coming up with very reasonable explanations as to why I have two knives. I don't. It's the same knife. I just changed its shape, its color. I think this looks a lot nicer than the previous one. Mm-hmm. Oh, you think that I believe I changed the color, but in reality I have two knives on me. Again, mental patient in a lunatic asylum allowed to keep a knife, or, according to you, two, and his watch. Yeah, I just don't understand you, Doctor. I mean, I know I created you, but I'm, I mean, I gave you an independent thought process. Well, as much as I could. I mean, this isn't easy for me. I mean, I genuinely don't know if this conversation is taking place in my head and maybe I'm locked away in some lunatic asylum in the real world, or maybe this is the real world and I've created it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Doctor. I really don't. And I was hoping you'd have the answer. That's why I created you. I mean, the last doctor, I did my best, but he was a stubborn SOB, so I got rid of him. Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't, no, it's not like I took him out. Oh, no, no, I would never do that. I simply made him vanish. Well, obviously, if I have the power to create things in this world, I can make them vanish. I mean, I have to be honest with you, Doc. This is frustrating. I think I've been very patient with you. 3 months? I mean, I gave you a Harvard education. I gave you a wife who's also a psychiatrist. That whole thing where you wanted children, that kind of developed on its own. And I just let it play out. Well, I figured if you had some sort of goal to shoot for, you'd put in more effort with me. Obviously, I was wrong. Listen, you're not the first psychiatrist whom I've created. You're not. And again, maybe this is all just taking place in my head, or maybe this really is the real world. Because honestly, it's not like I get snippets of drooling on myself locked up in a padded cell. I don't. I mean, I have free roam of this entire asylum, which I also created brick by brick. I mean, well, take for example this placemat. What color is it? Okay, it's red. Oh, what type of idiot puts a red placemat at a lunatic asylum? You know, the color of blood, the color of passion. You don't want the inmates to be reminded of that. No, this should be gray or light blue, but it's red. I mean, and sometimes when I put my hand down, it changes color to orange. You never notice that? I mean, I tried my best in making you as intelligent as possible so that maybe you could come up with a solution as to why I am the way I am. Because I do think I'm crazy. I mean, think about it. I created this entire world. All of you cease to exist when I go to sleep and I have insomnia. That's not good. I mean, seriously. Well, haven't you noticed other things? Like all of the nurses in this place. Yes. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed their chests? Mm-hmm. And it never occurred to you, wow, all of the nurses look like supermodels. Their chests are double D's. They got awesome hips and curves, and they're thick as hell. I'm attracted to that type of woman, so I decided, screw it. I'll make all the nurses look like that. That never occurred to you? I mean, you never noticed that there's not a single ugly female nurse? Really? Have you noticed that there are no orderlies at this insane asylum? Not one? Well, yeah, I put together a janitorial staff to keep everything clean, but think about it. As far as big, strong men, there's no orderlies here. None. all of the nurses are drop dead gorgeous. That, that, that never occurred to you? Really? Wow. I'm starting to think maybe I didn't put enough effort into you. Okay, how about this? How about the fact that there aren't any riots in this place? Have you noticed that? How long have you been working here? Mm-hmm. 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 And in all that time, in all those years, not one riot, not one nut job losing it, going crazy. Seriously? Zero orderlies. The only men who work here who aren't doctors are on the janitorial staff, and all the nurses are drop dead gorgeous. All of them. I mean, yeah, they all look different, but, it's not like I can have all of them wearing the same face. I mean, it never occurred to you. Never occurred to you at all. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Why does the head nurse look like Taylor Swift? Answer me that question. Why does she look exactly like Taylor Swift? Because I like her music and I made her look like her. Well, no, it's not a coincidence. No. Oh, this is frustrating, Doctor. It really is. I thought you were better than this. I thought I finally created the right doctor to help me with my problem. I guess I was wrong. Well, let me ask you this, Doctor. When was the last time you enjoyed a really good steak? Think about it. Oh, you can't seem to answer that question. Okay. What color is the SUV that you drive? Mm-hmm. Well, that was a guess, and you're wrong. It's not black, it's silver, because that's my favorite color. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Where did you meet your wife, or the woman who you'd eventually marry? Yeah, you can't answer those questions, can you? Because I didn't create them. I just gave you basic knowledge on certain things and a ton of knowledge when it comes to psychiatry, and I was hoping you could help me, but you can't. Yeah. Good old Ben, the creator of this world. Seriously, I don't know if this is the real world or I'm locked away in some sort of insane asylum in the real world, and I just created this figment of my imagination to help me come to terms with my insanity. But you are not helping me. Oh, well, you're right, Doctor. Reality is that which does not go away when I stop believing in it. So if you are really a figment of my imagination, then when I stop believing in you, you're going to go away. Well, okay, Doc. That's probably the first intelligent thing you've said in quite a while. All right? I'm going to stop believing in you right now. And you're gone. You're gone, and I'm sitting in this freaking room by myself. Why didn't you believe me, Doctor? All right. I guess I'll have to start over again. Maybe I'll create a female psychiatrist. Huh. Might as well give that a shot. I think I'll make her chest a little smaller, though.